What's up, everybody? What's up? What's up? What's up,
All
man?
right. What's going on?
Not too much, man.
I just want to apologize first and foremost. I was not supposed to be in a car when it said it would be cool to go live with you for a little bit, but I'm in between appointments and Yuri, my driver, had to be at the other end of town, so I'm here. I'm in the city, in the back of an Uber on a beautiful day. Hey, where are you? You're in your office. You're in your space in Vegas, yeah?
I'm in, I'm in Vegas, just chilling in my office. So you showing in New York right now?
Yeah, I just came from a showing at a building on 22nd Street with huge, crazy views. And now I'm going to showings at a building in Brooklyn. And then I go back into Soho. We have some course meeting stuff to do. And then I don't know. I got to look at my calendar.
Nice, man. Dude, I
Yeah.
had a question for you. The biggest thing that I've seen is, you're a guy who's doing so many things on social media and you're still showing houses as a realtor. Like, how do you balance all of that?
I don't really. I do the best that I can. It all comes down to the calendar. It all comes down to time management. I have a lot of people that help. Um, we started the new company in September, and we've got a lot of agents at this point who help, and we've got good team members, good management. It's all about uh, um, uh, using others to the benefit of the group, right? So it's just about leverage. Like someone told me that when I first got into the business, they said there's only so many places you can be physically at one time. If you want to be truly successful, learn leverage with people, leverage with money, leverage with your time, and that's the only way you can multiply. So that's what I do. That way, I only focus every day on the things that I do best. So like I have to be the one at these showings at the moment. I've got to be the one in the meetings at the office. Everything else is other people.
Yeah, I'm
What
with you,
about you?
dude.
You've really blown up over the past year, and which is crazy because it's been a really weird year.
Yeah. So it's funny, man. I wasn't on YouTube at all or TikTok or any of these things, just kind of, trying to build my business, right? And
Yeah,
I saw guys like you just crushing it on YouTube. And I remember vividly seeing one of your videos where you were like, making content is like the best thing possible for your business. And
hmm
then I watched you, leave your brokerage and start your own company,
yeah,
which really is a media company at the end of the day. And it just all clicked with me. I was like, dude, this guy gets it. And it's not even like a guy who's been on TV too, to say, you know what, it's better to just do it myself and produce everything and be able to just go live whenever I want, right? I'm not subject to
yeah.
TV or anything. And so I just watched what like guys like you were doing and said, man, if he thinks this is the way to go, it's probably the right way. And the results have been crazy, man. Just doing it for a year, you know?
And you've been like flipping your own houses, right?
Yeah, so we've been flipping hundreds of homes. We do routinely 100 plus flips a year, mainly here in Vegas. It'd be cool to flip a New York one though. Probably a lot higher profit margins selling the
Dude.
ones you guys got.
Yeah, or a lot more pain. Like we have a new TV show coming out on Bravo
Okay.
on June 3rd called Ryan's Renovation. And I think there's numerous times when I think I look at the camera and I'm like, this is why HGTV doesn't make shows in New York City because it is so expensive and it takes so much time. Like I renovated just one house. The whole show is the renovation of one house. Okay. It
Oh,
took 3 years. 3 years to do
wow.
one house. Not, I mean, it's not like we built it from the ground up. It's just a gut rehab renovation. But between the city and all the different agencies and the permits and the waiting and the trade, it's just like in Vegas, you can just like my biological dad in Dallas flips houses in Texas, and he's banging houses out like every week, like
Yeah.
moving on, moving on, moving on, moving on. Like every week, it's like we got one tile last week. And so I would stay in Vegas. You're in a good tax environment. It's a great real estate market out there. I know a lot of agents that are in Vegas and they're just crushing it. If you can survive the heat, you can survive anything.
Yeah, man. No, Vegas is great. we don't have to deal with all the permits and crazy stuff. We're cranking out houses and selling them in 3 months, not 3 years. So yeah,
Yeah,
I'll take it
I
with
know.
that for sure. So,
Now we have
I read,
sorry, just I
I
want to
was
ask
going to
you a
say,
question. I think there's a little bit of a delay, but so we have a large sales course that teaches people how to sell, and then you have the flipping academy, right?
right, right.
How did you get the idea to start that and kind of help teach other people how to go about it? Because learning to sell, there's low risk, right? It's an important muscle, it's an important tool, and we now have like 7,000 agents in just under 110 countries in the last year, which is super awesome. But you're teaching people about like how to use banks, how to use their own cash, how to leverage, how to exit, how to purchase. Definitely far more risk. How did you get the idea to start that?
Yeah, man. So, by the way, with your academy, my agents are in it. So I own a
Yeah,
brokerage as well, and they love it. Selling is important in all aspects of life. But as far as the flips go, I just was doing it on my own and making money, and people saw what I was doing, and they just kept asking me. They're like, "Teach me how to do it. Teach me how to do it." And I'm like, "All right." So I taught the first couple of people how to do it, and then more people want to learn. I'm like, I literally just don't have time to teach everyone. And so that was when I was like, all right, I need to just write a book. Okay. So I wrote a book first, and the book did really good. And people were like, we want
yeah,
more. I was like, all right, I'll create a course, make it more in depth. So I created the course. People were like, we want more. I'm like, all right, we'll start coaching programs. We'll create this community, just like what you've done. And, we've got
yeah.
over 1,000 students in all of our real estate investing courses and programs. And it's cool, man, because there's not a ton of people that are teaching flipping and actually doing it at a high level. So that's the
Yeah,
big
and
thing.
who are also good people, right?
Right. Exactly. The education industry is very, we'll just call it, scammy. So it's tough.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But that's awesome. That's super cool.
Yeah, dude. So
Super
I
cool.
read your book, Big Money Energy, and I was listening to your your podcast on Bigger Pockets recently,
Yeah,
talking about it, and it's something that I never really thought about. I've had it, but I never really like had a name for it or thought about it. And then as you were talking about it, like, man, when you first started, you didn't have any sales, you didn't have like a clue what you were doing, but you were just like, I'm going to bring the energy and the confidence that even though I don't have the experience, I'm going to walk in like I do and bring the energy. And
yeah,
it's got you to the point where you're at. And I think about that in everything that I do now. Like we talked about YouTube earlier, when I started the YouTube channel, I didn't have any subscribers. I shouldn't have been like coming in confident, like this is going to work out. This is great. But I did have that big money energy of like, this is going to succeed. What I'm doing is
yes,
going to work. And I got faith and it's going to happen. And it did. I just didn't
yep,
know what it was called.
yeah. Well, there you go. There you go. Now you know what it's called.
Yeah.
For me, it was I was watching so many people, and I wrote the book during COVID, so during quarantine. Like we left New York City, every police officer was saying they're going to shut down the bridges and tunnels. They're going to trap us on the island. It's the epicenter of the virus. Like it was a scary time last March. So we quickly left with a lot of other people. We left for 1 month, and we went to New Hampshire. When I was there, I was talking to all of our course members, our agents, fans on social. I saw so many people were comparing their self-worth to their current income, right? Or their lack thereof. And they were projecting so much fear and negativity into the future. And I just knew that when I had done that, I was predicting the future, right? When I was nervous and afraid and projecting projecting negativity, I was predicting a future that just wasn't very bright for myself. And then I would be surprised, like, oh, see, I told you things don't work out. I told you it's never going to work out. And then what do you think is going to happen, right? Things aren't going to work out. And I saw all these people walking around and they were confident, right? They had magnetic energy and they were able to attract success to themselves by the way that they carried themselves. Whether they were successful already or not, people wanted to work with them. And I realized, you know what, that's the muscle. Like that's the secret sauce. I can teach anyone how to sell anything. I can teach anyone how to build a sales career. But unless you're able to walk into a Zoom or a live session or an actual physical meeting, now that we're doing those again, or a phone call, and carry yourself with the level of success that you know you're going to have in 5 years, 2 years, 10 years, whatever works for you, then you're always going to be one step behind. So it's about, and I talked about it on Bigger Pockets as well, right? It's about living as future you. Who do you want to be tomorrow? Start acting like that person today. If you want to be the champ, start acting like the champ. And it works. So the book's full of different tactics and exercises and things. And it's exactly what I did to build a real estate career in cowboy boots from Texas in New York City. And so if it worked for me, dude, it can work for anyone.
Right. And I think what you said about projecting what you want to accomplish out there, I mean, like, stuff doesn't happen by accident. You know, you just don't stumble into great clients or deals or anything. Like, you have to be like, this is what I'm going to do. I am going to, you just sold like the most expensive house in Miami, right? You know,
in Florida. Yeah. For $133 million. Yeah.
133 million. It was like, I'm sure you had already thought about like, hey, I'm going to sell the most expensive house, and it probably didn't happen
years ago.
Tomorrow.
Took me a little while.
Yeah, but it happened. So what does 5 years from now look like for you? Because you're already acting that way today. What does it look like?
You know, what I'm building is a real estate ecosystem that'll create a lot of efficiencies between how people buy and sell homes, and work with agents who help them buy and sell homes. So we're creating a platform that any agent, regardless of your firm, can be a part of anywhere in the world. Because right now, real estate agents are so fragmented, right? They either work for me or they work for you, and they're in this state or in this city, and they don't know anything else about anywhere else. And maybe they have a few referral relationships or whatnot, but they're really only making the money and selling the homes that they can physically touch in their current market. And I think that's we're going to look back in 10 years, in 5 years, hopefully, and say, wow, remember when we only did business here? Like, remember when we only focused on the property and not on the people? And there's a process for building that. And I want, when people think real estate, they think Serhant, and I want them to all be a part of our platform everywhere in the world. And that's where we'll be in 5 years, hopefully less.
Yeah. No, I love that. It's actually something I've been thinking about. So our brokerage, we've got 100 agents here in Vegas. And as I'm building out my social media, I'm like, man, if I was able to go nationwide, right, how many agents could we have? It'd be way bigger. And, I've had companies like EXP and stuff saying, oh, just join EXP. Like, we can do that. Yeah. And you're kind of like me, where I'm like, I don't want to join someone else's thing, dude. Like, I want to create my own thing.
Correct.
And that's kind of where your head is too, where you're like, I want to create the nationwide platform. And it does make sense. Why should you be limited to your local market and what you do? Yeah.
Yeah. And listen, there's a lot of firms out there that I think preach what we're talking about, but the execution isn't there, because then there's no, training attached to it. There's no way for agents to actually then take the platform and make it work for them. They get sucked into the dream. They get sold the idea, but what they're really being sold is just an idea. That's why you don't see agents doing deals in different places all over the world. The largest deals I've done in the last 12 months have not been in New York City.
Wow.
And I'm in New York City. I'm in Brooklyn right now. Hold on. Look, there it is. There's Brooklyn. Hello. Right, here we go. We're going over to Brooklyn Point, which is the tallest tower in Brooklyn. And I got to show the rooftop infinity pool, which is the highest infinity pool in the Western Hemisphere, in a couple minutes here. But yeah, man, I think you and I'm super, camera. You and I should join forces in some way. I'm super impressed with everything that you've done out there. And next time I come to Vegas, we should definitely hang out. Although every time I come to Vegas, I end up leaving with a lot less money than I had before. So
yeah, man, we'll definitely make it happen, dude. Yeah, that'd be awesome, man. Just hit me up whenever you're here, and I'll do the same when I'm in NYC. But I'll probably have to meet you up on the infinity pool or something, because I'm sure you're going to be running around.
Yeah, let's do it. It's I don't know if you could see it, but it's up there somewhere.
Yeah. I love it, bro.
Well,
Well,
cool, man.
dude,
Thanks for chatting.
you're the
Thanks for
man.
having me on your live. And I will see you when I'm west, or you'll see me when you're east.
Sounds good, brother. All right, bro. Take care.
All right. See ya.